The Houston airport right now is a total chaos. The lines are wrapping around the terminal, and all due to the government shutdown. People arriving 3 hours early and still missing their flights. Once you get inside the terminal, the lines get worse. It reminds me of Disneyland. If you fly out of Houston, bring lots of patience with you.
Well, the government shutdown is causing thousands of flight delays each day. That's according to the Federal Aviation Administration, and Reuters today saying flights have either been delayed or canceled due to staffing shortages.
In case you're wondering what it looks like to travel during a government shutdown, this is clear. Not even the regular section. Turns out they only had one TSA worker for the security line, so it was great. Happy traveling, guys.
Angie Rodriguez with Fox 26. We're here at IAH, and I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at this line. This is all because of the government shutdown that's been in effect for over a month, and now both TSA agents and air traffic controllers are missing their first full paycheck. This is just a result of that. I'll zoom in a bit just for you guys to see the inside is just as packed as the outside here. We know that IAH was giving the passengers that are having flights today a bit of advice, telling them to come in early because some of these wait times could exceed 3 hours depending on your flight.
All right. I mean, if you're planning to catch a flight, especially in these coming days during the government shutdown, you better cancel your plan because, look at the lines, man. Look at the queue. People are showing up at the internet and they're getting surprised at the kind of queues that they're being actually, given, because like that incident where you find that it's only one TSA agent for all that queue. Well, you can't blame them. They are actually having to work for nothing, without even back pay guaranteed. So you can actually blame them. So the problem is because of the repubs, they do not want actually to end this government shutdown, and it's causing a lot of airports to actually collapse. Look at that. But let's keep watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the like button. Leave me a comment down below.
U.S. airports could shut down and all flights could be grounded within the next month. Now, reason being is because the government shutdown is still going on, and this means that essential personnel at these airports, like air traffic controllers, as well as many other people, are not being paid. Now, of course, because they aren't being paid, a lot of motivation can be lost among these people, and one day, if they decide that they don't want to show up to work, guess what? Airports won't be able to operate. And mind you, air traffic controllers are the ones making sure that planes aren't hitting each other. Not only that, but many other people that work at the airport all are essential and make sure that the airports run how they're supposed to every day.
Did you get on a plane if an air traffic controller hasn't been paid in weeks? So this weekend, U.S. airports reported over 20 air traffic controller situations in one day. 20. So on Saturday alone, there were so many air traffic controller shortages at a Los Angeles airport, they had to temporarily stop service altogether. And it covered most of Southern California. Then by Sunday, 6 other airports were dealing with shortfalls. And listen, the Trump administration is warning people it's gonna get worse. So let me piece together for y'all what's happening, right? Air traffic controllers and TSA are essential, but they don't get paid during the shutdown. Meanwhile, your congressman and your senator, who apparently ain't essential at all, still cashing checks while refusing to do their jobs. Make it make sense. How long do y'all really expect air traffic controllers and TSA folks to keep working without getting paid? Would you? I know I couldn't. That's some stupid shit. The shutdown has real consequences for hardworking Americans, but Trump and the Republicans, they don't care. Cause y'all, when government doesn't work, rich people still win. Rich people don't rely on public systems. They can fly private, skip TSA altogether, and never feel the pain. So while the rich are comfortable, the rest of us are trusting our lives to people who are not being paid, who got to think about how they're going to survive during this time frame. Flying right now is a dangerous business. And if they don't wake you up, I don't know what will, because I've been telling you since January to stop getting your ass on planes.
I'm at Houston International Airport and I missed my flight like a ton of other people. So we are waiting to get a shuttle to a hotel. But look, like I'm outside. That's the line for security. This is so crazy. I've never seen a place this crazy before, you guys. People are literally, like, the line is outside.
All right, guys. I mean, unless it's an emergency, I'm not actually getting anywhere through that line. I'm gonna cancel my flight or just reschedule it. But I know a lot of people cannot afford to do that because their flight tickets are obviously expensive. But a lot of delays are happening right now, cancellation of flights. Why? Because of shortage of staffing. What's going on right now is it's a total chaos because the airports are actually collapsing. They're shutting down because they don't have TSA workers. They don't have air traffic controllers, the people who actually make sure the planes do not actually hit each other or cause an accident. And these people are being told during the government shutdown that the government does not have money, yet your senator, your government workers, them politicians are actually getting their paychecks. It doesn't make sense. It's not fair, and it's not something that people are actually taking lightly. So that's why a lot of these TSA workers are actually choosing not to come to work, and you can't blame them.
It's been 2 months and the TSA workers are still not getting paid. These are the lines, the waiting lines at the Houston Bush Airport for people trying to get out and travel. This is ridiculous, and the wait times are just going to get worse now that the holidays are approaching. This government shutdown needs to end. And this ain't just a Houston thing. This is all across the country. Just imagine if this continues to go on. This little trickle-down effect, it's not just one incident. It's multiple incidents, and it's across all airports. So, you know what? Plan accordingly. If you have the means to drive for the holidays or drive to your destination, it'll probably be better than these wait times. Pay these people. Pay TSA. Because people got stuff to do. This is not a game. And the airports are telling individuals it will continue on this way until further notice. Do your job.
So all of these government workers who have to show up for their job that are not getting paid, like the TSA, the military, and the people at immigrations and customs. This just reemphasizes and shows that America is really a slave colony. It still is. You are telling me you expect people to go and work for nothing. This is what Trump's government is saying. So all of this is an extension of the slavery mentality that has been in the United States forever. And you know who I also blame? I blame all of the House and the Senate, because we have had several shutdowns over the last 20, 30 years. Not one, whether Democrat or Republican, has ever introduced bills to avoid people not being paid when there's a government shutdown. The Congress writes the laws. And they, over these 20, 30 years with these government shutdowns, could have passed laws that says, regardless of the president that is in the White House, if there is a government shutdown, TSA, the military, the immigration and border people, and all the essential services people must get paid. Not one of them. So I don't want to hear this is a liberal and conservative and bullshit. It's all of them in Congress, because we have had so many shutdowns. They could have passed laws that whoever shuts down the government has no ability to stop people from getting paid.
All right, y'all, this is crazy. And, it's something that we have to think about because, it's a government shutdown. The government is saying that, they do not have funds to actually pay all these government workers, but, they are still collecting your taxes. Where are them taxes actually going to? Because you have to ask yourself about that. Why are they not forgetting about that? If indeed it's a government shutdown, then they have to shut down even collecting them taxes. And the people asking actually the big question here, them people in the governments, them politicians are getting their paychecks while essential workers like TSA agents and air traffic controllers haven't actually gotten their pay, And a lot of people actually are choosing not to come to work because a while ago they were even told that they were not guaranteed of any back pay. Can you believe that? Because payment is supposed to be actually a form of motivation. You cannot work for free unless it's slavery, of course. You cannot work for free. And actually government jobs were supposed to be the lifeline, was supposed to be the security jobs that you never actually lose. The jobs that everybody wanted to actually go ahead and do. Nowadays, it's not the case, and a lot of people are getting disappointed because look at these queues, man. Look at these lines at the airports. And this is what actually is happening right now, not just in Texas. It's happening in Atlanta. It's happening in New York. It's happening in California, basically nationwide, because airports are actually shutting down, reporting, shortage of TSA workers and air traffic controllers, people who make sure that the planes do not actually crash, the planes do not actually hit each other. Those are essential workers, workers who deserve to be paid. And this lady was right. The lady at the end of the video was actually right. There needs to be some policies, that are signed by both the Repubs and the Dems, that make sure that government employees, especially essential workers, have got some form of payment, during any kind of government shutdown. And this shutdown is on course to become the longest shutdown in US history. It is what it is. The Repubs are actually poking fingers and blaming the Dems, but we all know why. The orange man just has too big of an ego to actually let this slide. But I'll keep you updated. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit that like button, and leave me a comment down in the comment section below. It really helps with the algorithm. And as always, see you on the next episode.